my regular classes here at the studio. And the day I found out we were all going to be quarantined was the first time I did a live Facebook class on Bendelay Buddha, and there was something like almost 600 viewers. I was just like, what? And it's because the algorithm on Facebook is, when you go live on Facebook Live, especially on your page, they get, the logarithm is to bring everybody, all of your friends or family, to go onto your live feed. That's how the Facebook logarithm works. That's why algorithm works, because, so it's a very powerful tool to use, especially your last week of before you're going to launch your challenge. And yeah, make sure you have your private Facebook group all ready. You can do that the day before. So this is the private Facebook group for your challenge. So just like this challenge, we have a private Facebook group called the Pegasus Mat, from your mat to online live. I have a private Facebook group. So you will also be creating a Facebook group for your challenge, and also get your Zoom account prepped. And yeah, it's not expensive, the Zoom account. You know, you can start, if you only need it for 40 minutes for your class, then just keep the free one. Test your microphone, test your video recorder, and create a lesson plan for 5 to 7 days. Okay, prepare, maybe rehearse it. Usually before class, I will just turn on my video and I will speak to the camera, and I'll go through my whole lesson in front of the camera. And get your handbook. It's a really good idea to get your deliverables ready. Deliverables are what you're giving to your students. So for instance, with this challenge, I had a deliverable of an 11-page handbook. And it's nice. Yes, it's okay to do a 3-day challenge, Dahlia. That's great. But probably no less than 3 days if you want to get to know your students. So you get your handbook already, and whatever deliverables you're going to be giving your students. Also, maybe build out your page for your challenge, so you have your FAQs, your frequently asked questions. And all sorts of questions will pop up when you are launching a challenge. So keep those in your FAQ bank. They're really important, and get them up on your webpage and or your Facebook page. Weave in your story, teach, and tool framework in all of your posts. Okay, think about your riffs. The riffs are things that you could talk about, you know, for at least 20 minutes without any books or without any notes. So get those solid. Maybe start recording them on audio. Story, teach, tool. Think about what your lesson plan is, and see if you can weave in at least one story per class. Stories are essential for the teacher. So bring in your personal stories and how you overcame challenges and how you can show your students with visuals. And a good way is through story. You can market this event organically to your friends and family and ask them, maybe even do a contest, like ask your friends and family to tag people in your post to get more people into your challenge. You could do, if you have the budget for it, you could do like a $5 a day Facebook advertisement, or an Instagram $5 a day advertisement. Target only your tribe. So if you're only teaching people from the ages of, let's say, 35 to 55, then you need to target your advertisement to that niche as well. So don't include people lower than that age group or higher than that age group. because you can waste a lot of money doing that. And also, if you're only targeting people from a certain country or city, then, you know, Kate, oh, this is something we haven't talked about, is time zones are very important to keep in mind, okay? Especially when you get into Facebook advertisements later on. So think about all of the time zones that can potentially watch your lessons on Zoom. If you are somewhere, let's say in Italy or Spain, do not pay for advertisements for people in Australia, because they're not going to be able to come to your classes. Because when you're teaching your classes, they are asleep. Let's see. I mean, sometimes that doesn't stop people if they're very interested in your content. However, you know, you want to set yourself up for the best success possible. And one way is to target your niche down. Country, age, things like, do they believe in God? Don't they believe in God? Are they spiritual? Are they not spiritual? Like, think about what kind of teacher you are. Are you a very scientifically based teacher? Then you're going to be targeting people like doctors and nurses and people in the medical field. And set up your intake for inquiries. Gmail is a good place. Or set up your system of inquiries through your website. So you're going to have, like, let's say if your website was fitting.com, then you would have something like info@fitting.com or something like that. And then people can just ask the questions straight from your website, and then you would receive those notifications. And it's a great way to keep everything really organized. Later on, you can link up a Mailchimp. Mailchimp is a very useful tool for yoga teachers because you're going to be receiving so many inquiries. Not every inquiry you get is going to purchase classes from you. However, just because they say no today doesn't mean that they're going to say no to you next month. So Mailchimp is a wonderful way to keep all of your emails organized. And so the next time you send out a newsletter, which I recommend sending out a newsletter once a month, just to kind of check in with your people, then all of those people that didn't purchase your classes last month, then they get a chance to hop on your other classes for the next month or whatever you're advertising on your newsletter.